Hello everyone, I'm William John, and today I'm going to present GNS3 with MikroTik. This is my outline. The first one is my topology in GNS3 by using the MikroTik devices, and then the second one is how to connect Winbox in GNS3, and then we have to I'm gonna use a RMB configuration on MikroTik device, and I will show you how to use firewall in MikroTik, and then the final result. Here is my topology, and there are in this topology you can see 3 router, they all are MikroTik device, and I also use a 4 PC. 3 is a private PC, and 1 is a Ubuntu from VMware. In this case, R1 is a main, so just like a cool router, and in this case, R1 is accessing the internet, and you can see, and R1 will deliver internet to R2 and R3, but in this topology I will restrict internet for R3 user, and I will give permission internet access to the R2 user, and R1 and R3 now what address is this one, and R1 and R2 network address is this one, and this is for the Winbox to access Winbox by using this interface. This is the cloud, and this is an internet. And then for the local address, I use this IP address 11.11.11.0/24, and for this network I use a 10.10.10.0/24 network. And in this case, MikroTik in the GNS3, I can log in a MikroTik via the Winbox in GNS3, and then for this case, we have to use a remote in order to use a Winbox, and then after that we have to, and I also need to connect this PC1, PC3 to the Ubuntu and PC2, and they need to communicate each other, just like a headquarter and branch office. So in this case, I have used a RMB configuration because if you didn't use a routing protocol, you cannot ping from PC1, PC3 to PC2 to Ubuntu. You cannot ping each other. So if you want to ping each other, you have to use a routing protocol such as OSPF, ENGRB, or RMB. But in this topology, I'm going to use a RMB for communication. Here you can see the RMB is a routing information protocol, and then after that I will show you about how to configure the firewall on MikroTik routers. In this case, I already mentioned, for this network they can use the internet, but for this network for R3, PC1 and PC3, they can ping to the PC2 to PC2 and Ubuntu, and they also can ping each other, but they cannot access the internet because of I use a firewall system. I use a firewall line, firewall system in R1 for this user. This is a Winbox for R1. How to in this case, you can log in easily by using a connect button, but for router 1 and router 3, you have to enable room in the Winbox. After that, you can log in Room neighbor by using a room neighbor and to R2 and R3 without Winbox. This is a configuration of a RMP DHCP and firewall for R1. So for this case, R1 is I set up the DHCP server for both sides. One DHCP server is for R2 and one DHCP server is for R3. And also in addition, R3 also I set up the one of the DHCP server for R3 for the local network, and moreover I also set up one of the DHCP server network is 10.10.0.24 for this local network. So in this case, for remote, to log in Winbox by using remote, you have to enable remote, and then you have to set a MAC address IP, because remote means by using a MAC address IP. So you have to put whatever you want. Maybe I put 00002 for router 2 and 03 to router 3. This is like a MAC address. And then this one is a configuration of RMP, DHCP, and firewall for R1. So in this case, I allowed this network and this network to access the internet. So you have to write some command and send a few lines of firewall for our R2 network and R1 network. This is RMP configuration. It's almost like a Cisco router, but it's using a user interface. And then this one is a configuration of RMP, DHCP, routes in R2. You can see the in RMP routing table. You can see RMP routing table. You can see 10 network, 11 network, and 172 network, and 192 network. And so it means they can pin each other because of the RMP routing table. So one of the network is missing in this route, you cannot pin each other. So in this case, in R2, as I mentioned before, the network from R2 can pin to the internet, but in this case, for R3, you can see the configuration RMP, DHCP, and route in R3. So they can also in R3 routing table, there are a lot there. The routing address are almost the same like R2, but as I mentioned, R3, the network from R3 cannot access to the internet because I restrict the internet by using a firewall. So this is a final reset. This is a PC1. PC1 is from R2 network, and PC2 is also from R2 network. So they can pin. So P1 pin to the R3. R3 is a PC3 is a network from R3. So they can pin each other. And this one PC2, the network from PC2 can also pin the internet, but the network from R3 can't pin to the internet because I restrict the internet. Thank you for your attention.